to the planning committee on the 11th of June. Okay, we start off with 7124, declarations of any disclosable pecuniary interest, please. Oh, very quiet down there. So, okay. Apologies for absence.
There are many apologies. Apologies from Carla Beretta, David Blackthorne, Mike Brindle, Ian Evans, Doug Jefferson, Mac McDonald, Vic Peters, Viola Ross Smith, Ron Wood, and Stuart Ross.
Okay.
Did Terry not send his apologies?
He apologised to me. He apologised to me this morning. Sorry.
Just took away all my ammunition there.
I thought it was a fine for the mayor's charity.
No, he told me this morning he was a cook.
Okay then, thank you. 7324, terms of reference. To approve the terms of reference of the planning committee. What have you done?
I think just in terms of the planning terms of reference, we've just quorum is 6 members. We've also, I've just added 1 or 2 things since we've learned a couple of things at the training that we've attended. So, for example, under the role of the committee with respect to planning applications, to request town councillors who are also Breckland councillors to call in any plans. I've added that. To review any decisions of variance between the town council and Breckland council and decide whether to correspond further with Breckland. I've added that as a term of reference. We always have an agenda item on the rate of Thetford partnership, so I've added what we actually do there. We supposedly identify matters to be referred to the GTP, and we receive any matters that were decided at the GTP meeting that may have a planning implication. Other roles of the committee to review Breckland's local plan, I've added, to make comments when requested, and to formally review the Thetford Conservation Area Plan on an annual basis. The other roles have remained relatively unchanged, except for the very bottom one of the town clerk, to attend meetings of the Breckland Planning Council Planning Committee to explain the planning committee's comments on plans if the latter deems it appropriate. So those are the terms of reference. I've just brought them up from what we've had previously.
Is there any questions?
Nope.
I have one query, if I can.
Sure.
It says on the first, under the role of the committee, to request town councillors are also Breckland councillors sit on the Breckland Planning Committee to call in any plans, etc., etc. Should that be ward councillors? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just wondering. The ward councillors, like if there's a controversial in your ward, does the ward councillors go as opposed to from another ward? I know what it says, but
this is the town park, isn't it?
No, this is
on general.
Oh, sorry.
On general.
Oh, big pardon. Yeah.
It's role of the committee in respect to planning applications.
Yeah.
That's the very first one. If you remember at the last planning, sorry, Chair, at the last planning committee meeting, one of the comments we made was we are going to request our town council representatives on the planning committee to call in this plan. And that's the only reason I've actually added this. I don't know whether they have to be ward councillors.
I thought it was ward councillors.
But there's not a councillor for each ward on Breckland. There's only 2 Breckland councillors on planning.
Not that any ward councillor can go. Aren't they?
I'm struggling to understand what this has got to do with what we do at Breckland.
Well, it's not just there, the yellow bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Quality plans. Okay.
Who sits on planning as a Breckland then? Was it just you?
Harry.
No pressure.
Me?
Harry. Kendra's a sub, isn't she?
Yeah.
Chris. And you.
And me.
That's the 3, isn't
Town
it?
council, why is that just be the 2 of you?
Yeah. Okay.
But can't any ward councillor call in a...
Well, a ward councillor can. So presumably that being incumbent on Terry or myself or Mike Brindle if the issue around the Abbey, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And vice versa, if it was on Burrell or Castle, it would be yourself.
Yeah.
And if it's on Burrell, it would be myself or Mike or Terry.
I mean, call-ins are so rare, aren't they?
Yeah, it's okay. I just want to clarify. If it's
No, it's fine.
then fair enough, you know.
I think we need to vote on that, don't we?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Can we have a proposer, please? Seconder?
In favour?
All in favour? Anyone again? And any abstentions?
Yeah.
That's too late. Okay then, minutes of the planning committee, 74/24, held on the 14th of May, received on full council. Are we all happy? That they're accurate and true. Yeah, okay, everyone? Question built on that one?
Yeah.
No, okay, sorted. Okay, planning applications to consider. 0094, discharge of conditions from Stapleford, Thetford Limited.
Okay, so basically some replacements of trees that are not looking their best. So we've got, we go slightly up, and we've got a couple of pictures there. So basically, this is the area in question. The reason why this is coming up as a discharge of conditions is because they want to change the species a little bit, in particular from some of the birch to oak and, what's the other ones? If we can just go ahead, oak and silver birch. So if we look at the pictures there, hopefully you can read this or have seen it. So some of the birch are in poor condition and to be replaced. There's a big gap in the middle, so that's going to be filled in. And if we go on to the actual plan on the next page, if we can, you'll see, well, you probably won't get a read from there, but the little red bits are basically the changes. So there's a couple of trees to be straightened out. There's going to be a new tree planting bed put in to put in some of the new trees. And the other one is a replacement of the larger trees with the oak, and a substitution again with silver birch in that same sort of area. And if you have a look on the top of the next page, that summarises the recommendations from the inspector that the contractor was employed to basically recommends a little bit more care for the trees, such as things mulching and watering, but also the replacement planning. Recommends tree and consultant is basically happy enough that it can be done at the right time of year, not plant trees now, because they'll just die, basically. So Breckland has therefore considered that this is discharged in half.
Any questions?
No comments to make on that. Okay.
Support your.
Support us? All in favour? Thank you.
Okay, right, here comes the biggie. I'm sure, like me, you've all read every word of every document on this.
There are over 100.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't.
I have a view on that alone, frankly.
Okay, so a great amount of detail on this. I suppose we'll rattle through the sort of summary that I have got in the plain presentation pack, and then you can have a look in detail at whatever bits you want. Happy enough, Chair? So basically, yes, this proposal will include 500 extra homes. It's a 37-acre site. There's a great big pipeline across it underground. There will be sustainable drainage systems, and they've been talking to Breckland about this, and they have had all this various consultations going on. Let's have a look at the first picture. So, first one, basically in red is just the area of the site in question. The blue ones are other bits. Yeah, do you want to do it?
No, I could. Yeah, I'm going to do this actually. I'm going to briefly interrupt you. I do apologise.
Okay with that?
I don't mind. Yeah, it's a fair decision, I think, isn't it?
Given that the council, the town council, are involved on this, my motion would be to defer this to another time until we've had legal advice over it. I think that would be the proper thing to do. Save you a bit of work and a bit of talking.
Yeah, right, so does that go to a vote then?
Okay, would you propose it?
I'm proposing that we defer it until such time as we've had legal advice.
Yeah, and all in favour?
Do we get a deferment time or just?
Anyone again? Any abstentions? Okay.
So proposal was TL,
TL
sorry,
and SP
three,
then.
councillor, three.
Sorry, I just didn't want you to go for too long.
No apology necessary on that one.
Reduce the meeting by about 3.5 hours.
I was going to say then, and the sleeping bag and food for us. Okay, right, well, we can zoom right through, Alan, right down to, right, there is a lot here. Okay, where are we down to? Almost to the end. We've got the, have you found it here? I'm still going, oh, here we go. That. So, yes, oh, sorry, do you want to say it or?
No, carry on, go on.
So plan number 475, household consultation, so.
Just infer this.
We'll defer you keep on.
Okay, so 24 Charlotte Road, we've got a picture of house and plan on that page there. Oh, you don't seem to have got a plan on your, for some reason, it's not. It's on to the next page on your one, probably. Yeah, there we go. Yes, there is, on the left there, description of materials concerned, largely in the original, there is a extension. If we have a look at the next page, I've put the existing and proposed next to each other for you, so you can see the side elevations at the front, on the right there with the new stuff marked in the hatch, front and back. Go down to the next picture. And again, so the side elevations there showing the extensions front and back. And then we've got, it's not showing on some of this, existing and proposed, and I'll look at yours, which has come through all right. So again, hatch at the front there, porch extension to the front, and next one. Okay, or just bottom half of that. Yeah. Oh, hello. Let me just go back to the yeah, that one. So the rear extension there again, hatched, and yeah, the next are the floor plans. I think we can go through to now. So again, if you have a look, it should be more or less. If you just go down slightly, yeah, that's brilliant. So you can see the lounge at the back there and the porch at the front, at the bottom of your screen. In addition to the existing facilities, so yeah, basically lounge becomes lounge dining, and then so as I said, that rear extension, and the next I think should be upstairs. Yeah, there we go. So again, no basic change to upstairs, and I think that's everything, is it? Yeah. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. The question of, I'll come to a minute, Chair, if I can. Question of procedure. The house next door is my friend. So I'm not saying too much there, but they've not received any letters from the planning department to tell them what's going on. Are they supposed to?
From memory, it's a bit rougher than this. I believe there should be at the very least a notice on the immediate post. Procedure for letters, I'm afraid. I think there certainly should be a public notice.
On one of the posts, yeah. Okay. I mean, I also hasten to add the neighbours aren't unhappy with what's happening. So, okay, any comments, please? Yes. Sure.
Sorry, you want to go first?
Please. Oh, go on. Get your hand up first.
First.
It's only a slight query. There's no mention of what the material is. It talks about the doors.
Oh, it should be. On the top.
Okay.
If you go back onto the first bit where the plan it may have disappeared off the bottom of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Mine, it's gone on half on
The doors at the bottom.
Oh, it may be behind the red door.
Okay. I could see it on the screen. That's.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's fine. That's fine. I just didn't see it on my presentation. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it, sorry, I don't,
Sorry,
So
Hazel.
the doors existing and proposed are both white.
Is there an extension?
That stuff.
I don't have that much of a problem with the rear because it runs at the same length as the neighbour's house extends anyway. Not a big fan of random front extensions for no reason, but I don't suppose we can object to that.
It's a porch rather than extension. I think extension's the wrong word, but it's a big old porch.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't see, well, not for me to judge what they're going to use it for. I think it looks like quite a nice front of house and they're slapping a porch on the front of it. But I don't think we can object to it, can we?
Lots of space. Hazel?
so I'm not quite clear what I can see the doors are the same, but the actual material of the front porch, is that the same yellow bricks?
I think if you look under the walls, that would cover that one because, yeah, I think, yeah, it is a solid on the front of the porch there. So the walls and the roof would apply to the porch and the rear extension, I believe. Certainly looking at, just checking back through the plans. Yeah, I don't think there is any knots to believe that from the information we've got.
It's render instead of brickwork, basically.
It's render.
If you look at walls, yeah, so there will be some of it is brick and some of it is, so red brick to match and white or off-white render. What's not quite clear from the plans, I must admit, is which is which. I can't actually see from any of this actually whether that is specified in that level of detail. The walls are just hatched, they're not one or different, I'm afraid.
You assume they're the same, wouldn't you? Because the hatching is the same.
Yes, but given that the walls are, some of it is brick and some of it is render.
Yeah, it's just the base that's brick, isn't it?
And to be fair, I can't see a difference, as you say, between any of that. So I'm not in a position to answer that from the information we've got. Through the application.
So I assume the red bricks are up to the damp course, and then the existing is buff brick, and the new stuff is going to be off-white render. That's my interpretation.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can we add a clause saying to try to keep it in keeping with the rest of the house? Is that something we're okay to do, or?
We can put comments in if you want. Is that a non-material thing? Or material thing?
That's already
It's reasonable to request clarification if you want, or.
Just request clarification. I like that. Yeah.
It's already had an extension on there, isn't it? That side has already been extended. Because that would be the same, that would be, if you look at that house, the next door one would be exactly the same, but it's not. So it has already had an extension on there.
Before,
Of the garage.
I didn't see it.
Window.
Yeah, that's
In the front, yeah.
that's an extension or turned into like a dormer.
It's good. So you can see that, as Terry said, the red brick along the bottom and the yellow above it. You can see that from there.
There's no.
No, it's all right, I've got it.
That address, apart from this current application.
It looks,
If it is.
it looks out of keeping with that, doesn't it?
If
That house, that would be exactly the same.
It might just be where they try to make the houses varied. This house is on like the main road through the centre of the estate. It's right, you would see it as you go through.
To be fair, the picture is out of date because that red garage door is white.
2022, that was Chris.
I just don't get why you don't
That's something to go into.
in front of that.
Mm.
What purpose?
Quite a nice
Would
one.
you like clarification on the building material?
Yeah, I would
I
personally.
think that's the main thing. If it looked the same, if it was the same brickwork, I think you wouldn't even notice it had been added, but if it's be really standing out.
And of course, it is set back and it's on the side, so it's not blatantly obvious coming in one way, where it is the other.
Oh, look, that's a road, isn't it, going away?
Yeah.
Okay, are we supporter? Are we happy?
I've no problem with the application as it is, so.
Would second it?
Well, that's not my proposal, I'm just commenting.
So by rights, depending on whether we support or not, request Verification of building materials to assess whether it matches with the existing.
We can be in support of put them.
Yeah, I would support if it was in keeping still, but if it was completely different
Okay, all in favour of supporting then,
with the caveat of
the
it.
caveat, yes. Again? Nope. Okay. Anything else? You're abstaining?
Yeah.
He's abstaining.
Could I then say request confirmation rather than clarification? It's
Yes, please.
confirmation.
Yeah,
because that would
confirmation.
say, that would give it more.
You okay with that, Bill? Mr. Planning person?
Yeah, request either of those things. Certainly, that would be fine.
Okay then. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, right, 76. No, you may, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
You don't have to pay for your coffee either, you're right.
Thank you very much.
Okay then.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, 7624, late planning applications received after agenda was published.
None,
Oh, wonderful. Decisions of variance?
none.
Okay. Items to be referred to the Thetford Partnership?
That's on the phone.
This could have been.
Community engagement? Do we want to say that?
I do wonder, no news is no news, is it really, with regard to the Abbey estate? So I'll get the word around about that. That'll fly off.
Anyone else got any community engagement they'd like to put in? Okay. And committee officers update.
Just two things. The first one is that Historic England are planning a geophysical survey on land that the council owns near Nuns Bridges and School, and for the weeks beginning 17th June to July, and I think or 2nd of September. So it's just that or residents see something or you see something, they're just doing, it's a non-invasive type physical survey.
That doesn't involve any road closing or anything like that, does it?
No, my understanding is it's actually, we won't know that they've been.
People walking around.
Where was that, sorry?
The 17th of June, the 2nd of July, or the 2nd of September.
Nuns Bridges.
Nuns Bridges, sorry, I said.
That's
where.
cool.
So it's Nuns Bridges, near Nuns Bridges and Bay. And then the second item is really what we submitted comments on the Kilmston NMA at the last meeting. Planning have come back to us to ask for clarification, and essentially there's a couple of areas. They disagreed with some of our comments, which was fair enough. The application will not impact or push back the number of delivery of social housing or affordable housing provision on the Thetford side of the Sue. They understood and agreed with our concerns about the lack of detail. And what they have said is that they're going to have a look at the two things that they're going to have a look at. The first one is that they're going to look at the allotments. So they want us to quantify what do we believe is the extent to which they should be providing for allotments on the Thetford side of the Sue. So you'll see I've highlighted that in yellow over there. And then the second thing is that they're going to come and talk to us about the Section 106 agreement, which is the very last paragraph on that you can see there. So one of the things for us to engage more effectively with the pigeon is we need to understand what their obligations are in terms of development. So they've promised to send me a summary that they tabled with GTP a number of years ago, and they'll actually come and discuss it with us. And then the third thing, which came out in the discussion rather than out the email, is that we've mentioned the lighting strategy at the actual Sue itself. They're putting that item on the GTP, and they'll actually get together a couple of stakeholders to actually drive that forward to see how that can be funded and to what extent it should be, because it supports some of the objectives of safe travelling within the area. So that's really the update. They want to get the NMA, this non-material amendment, finalised as soon as possible, so they will come back and engage with us going forward.
Will that be in person? Because I do think we need a meeting with anyone who's involved in that, because the work now.
The Pigeon wanted to come and do a presentation before this meeting, but the problem is that we didn't have the information to be able to do that. And it would be better for us to understand the Section 106 and a little bit more about the planning application. So Beck and Council are going to do that, and then we can hopefully we can do that before the next planning committee meeting, and then we can have an engagement with Pigeon on a fairly informed basis. At the moment, they would just be telling us things, and it's very difficult for us to respond in a meeting format like this.
Because we've got to get the allotment bit sorted. No doubt. Any more questions on that?
That's it.
Well, thank you very much for your time and effort and attendance. I'll close the meeting at 19 minutes.
That's a record. Thank you very much. And it was just,
Mark?
Yes. Right, well, see you next month.
Yeah.
More.